Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how to set up a very awesome DOS system. This is DOSBox Game Launcher, and this is going to be running the current version, which is 0.98. So what is DOSBox Game Launcher? It's essentially a front end dedicated to running DOS games with ease. So rather than typing out commands and everything else which comes with DOSBox, this does all the hard work for you, and it even comes with DOSBox installed. It's a very easy way of playing DOS games. You need to check this one out. Okay then, first things first, before I start today's DOSBox Games Launcher, make sure to hit notifications, subscribe and like if you like today's video. Really helps my channel out a lot, plus you get pop-ups every time I release a video, which is every day or even sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. So we're looking at DOSBox Games Launcher today, and this really is the most simplified way of playing DOS games. Now, let's just say that DOS games to run normally is quite a chore for a lot of people. I covered how to use DOSBox probably around a year ago, and I've actually come across a really easy way of running DOS games where this program does all that hard work for you. Rather than typing out command after command and mounting things, this system does everything for you. So let's go over and actually download this. Okay, so this is DOSBox Game Launcher, and we can download this. It's absolutely free, and like it says just here, if you followed my little video a while back for ExoDOS version 6, we can actually incorporate ExoDOS games into DOSBox Game Launcher. So let's take a look at downloading this. So if we go up to the download tab at the top, what this is going to tell you just here is that we actually need to download and install Java. So if we don't do this, this program isn't going to boot. It's not going to work. So we definitely need to download Java for this. So what I'm going to do is go to Oracle Java SE Development Kit. If I just click on this, this is going to bring us to oracle.com. If I just scroll down, then going to go over to where it says Windows. So if I just click on Windows, I'm next going to download Time64 installer. I'm going to download the middle one just here, and it ends with bin.exe. If I just left click on this, let this download. So once that's downloaded, we're going to open up this development kit, which is 2.1.0.2. If we just press yes on the pop-up, should you get one. Okay, so let's actually start installing Java. So if we go to next, and the next part of this is going to ask you where you want this installed. Now I'm going to leave this into my C drive and into my program files folder. If you want to install this elsewhere, then just simply go to change and then just select where you want this to install. Like I say, I'm going to default this to install it into my C drive. Next. Okay, so we've installed Java Development Kit, so I'm going to press close. Next thing we're going to do is just go back over to the DOSBox Games Launcher, and we're actually going to download the program itself. Once that's done, I'm going to scroll back up slightly, and we can download this here. So just download the zip, and this is going to start downloading DOSBox Game Launcher. Okay, so we've downloaded DOSBox Game Launcher, and you're going to download a zip folder. If I double left click, this is the contents. So what we need to do is just extract this, and I'm going to make a new folder on my desktop. So I'm going to go to right click, new folder, and I'm going to just give this the initials Dbgl. You can call this folder whatever you like. And what I'm going to do is just highlight everything and just drag and drop it into that new folder I've just created. And that's that part done for now. So we can now delete the zip folder. We no longer need that because we've just extracted it. So if we go into the Dbgl folder, if we just go straight down to launch.exe, this is going to bring up DOSBox Game Launcher. So it looks very complex, but it really isn't that bad at all. So what we're going to do next then is actually take a look at some games. So we got several different ways we can do this. We can actually download packs from the website, which you're limited to particular games with, and we can also put our own DOS games into this. So in my games folder just here, I've got 3 games. What I need to do with these is just extract them. So what I'm going to do is just create a new folder, and I'm going to call this one Robocop. I'm going to just drag my Robocop game inside of that folder and then just simply extract it. So right click, I'm using WinRAR and extract here. Okay, and what I'm going to do next is just delete that .zip. We no longer need that, and I'm going to do the same with my other 2 games. So right click, folder, and title this one Rastan. And extract again. So you'll notice with DOS games that some games you'll get more files than others, but that's fine. So we've now got our games extracted, and what I suggest doing is just putting your games folder into that Dbgl folder just to keep things nice and neat. So let's actually add these 3 games into DOSBox Game Launcher, and I'm going to show you how great this system is. So first of all, to add our own games, we're going to go to Add Game Wizard at the top, just left click on it. This is then going to ask you for the game's title. So for example, first of all, I'm going to choose my game Rastan. So if I type in Rastan, this is then going to search Moby Games. And I'm going to leave it's already installed or it doesn't require installation. I'm going to go to next. And most of the time you will get this return no results for Rastan pop up if you just press OK on this. And here we go. So Moby Games browser has actually identified this game, and make mental note of the year when this was released. This one was released for DOS in the year 1990. There's a reason for this. If we just press OK. Okay, so the next part of this is specify main executables. So from here we need to go to browse, and I need to find my games folder that I've just dragged into my Dbgl folder. Now this is on my desktop. My Dbgl folder is here, and my games folder is here. Now I'm looking for the game Rastan. If I just double left click. Now normally with DOS games, the files you need for your executables to actually boot up the game is going to be ending with .exe. In some cases .com. I'm going to try this with .exe. If I double left click and just press next. Now the reason I said to you just a minute ago was to make a mental note of the release date is that under template just here, this is where this program really does its best, is that it gives you a template just here of different machines. So obviously DOS games was running from the early 1980s up until say the late 90s. So what I can do here is actually set a template in order for this to work its magic. So if we just scroll, now the game was released in 1990. It's more likely going to work with say a computer template from 1989 or 1990. If I just select 1989 for this one. So I'm going to go to finish and leave these other settings on default, finish. And here we go. So we've now got our game added into the profile section. If I double left click or just go to run profile. And here we go. So like I said at the start of the video, we don't actually need to enter commands or anything. DOSBox Game Launcher comes with DOSBox already installed once you download this, which is very cool. So we can actually go into a full screen mode just by pressing Alt and Enter on keyboard. So here's Rastan, and it's going to tell us just here that we can actually remap the keyboards for this game. So I'm going to choose yes, Y. And I'm going to just map out my keyboard settings. And obviously to exit full screen, just simply press Alt and Enter again. So that's the first game added. I'm going to go ahead and install, or rather add another game into this. Then I'm going to show you how to add some game packs from the website, which we just downloaded this program from. So I'm going to go through this again. If we go to Add Game Wizard. So the next game I'm going to add is one of my favorite films actually came into a game. This is RoboCop. So normally I find it's already installed or it doesn't require installation. Fine. We're going to go to so here's my two titles which Movie Games has came up with. We got the original RoboCop, which released in 1989, and we got the very awesome RoboCop 3 released in 92. So I'm going to choose RoboCop from 1989. Okay. And just wait for this a second. And again, we're going to look for the main executable, that exe file, which boots up the game. So we're going to go to Browse and just search for my RoboCop folder within Games. And here it is. So in this case, this game is actually ending with a .com file extension. This is the one we need. Double left click and next. Now, being this one released in 1990, again, we can use a template just here. And again, for this particular game, it will likely run on a 1990 template or even likely a 1987 template. Now, obviously, if I use something like a 1996 template, there's a potential that this game will be too fast. Or if I use a template from, say, 1985, then again, it's likely not going to boot or it will run extremely slow. So on the side of caution, let's just use a 1989 and finish. And here we go then. So remember, double left click on the game or just go to Run Profile. And Alt and Enter to go into full screen. Now, for some games, when you boot them up, this is the type of screen you're going to see. So it's asking us to set a graphic mode. So I'm going to go and use number 2, which is EGA, or that's entirely up to you. So do you want IBM or Tandy sounds? I'm going to go for IBM and just press on my I button. Okay, so as you can see, very simple to get your own games up and running. Just remember to unzip your games and just follow that simple process which I've just showed you. Next thing I'm going to show you is if we go back to the website where we downloaded this, if we just go to Game Pack Archives, we can actually download game packages from here. Now you've got a selection just here, and of course we got the Doom games and we got Jazz Jack Rabbit, all iconic to DOS gaming. Ones I'm going to download and show you how to install these is going to be, like myself, Agent. So I'm going to download Agent DOS Games VI. If I just go to download this, and I'm also going to download another pack just here, which is of course going to be Doom. Okay, so I've just downloaded my Doom game or ID software collection, and I've also got my other collection just here which I've downloaded, which is Asian Games IV. What I'm going to do is just pop these into my folder just here and into my games folder. Like I say, I'm just a bit of a OCD tidy freak in terms of systems like this. So we then need to open up the launcher itself, so launch.exe. And in order to install these packages, which we can download from the website, what we're going to do is just go up to Profiles at the top here. We're going to go to Import, and just let me remind you that we don't need to extract those packages. And we're obviously going to navigate to the folder. I've just popped them in, so Dbgl games, and I'm going to start with the Asian collection. Just double left click, next, next. And this is the games which are inside that package, and there's some classics in there such as Jungle Strike and Gods. If I press next and next again, just let this import successfully. Just press OK and finish. So here we go, we've now got more games added into this library. Some are demos, some aren't. If I click on the Gods game, which is one of my favourite Amiga games, we got images here at the bottom as well. So let's actually start one of these games. If I go to run profile, and again, just like everything else I showed you, we can put this into full screen modes just simply by pressing Alt and Enter. Again, just press escape to come out of the game. And we're now going to add the next pack, which I've just downloaded. So to do this, it's going to be profiles at the top, import, and I'm going to go straight to my ID software collection, double left click. And again, we're going to press next, next. And within this pack, we now got several different games here. So Commander Keen, which is obviously a popular DOS series of games, Doom, Heretic, Quake, next. And finish. So let's check out Doom. So again, just double left click. Also going to show you some really cool features what we can do for this really simply. So if we want to add filters to our games, what I'm going to do is just choose one of my games here, which is going to be Robocop, and you can do this with any of the games. We're just going to go down to edit, and from edit, if we just choose display, we can then go to output, and say a game isn't booting or you get a black screen, then quite likely you'll just need to change the output over. We've also got scaler just here, so we got a selection of scalars to use, including scan lines. I'm going to just select scan 2 times. We also got full screen resolution to select, so it's entirely up to you which one you go for. Let's just check out, say, 640 by 480. We also got window resolution just here, so again, entirely up to you, whatever works best. I'm going to stick with 640 by 480. And we can also select full screen from here, so when we open up the game, it will go straight into full screen. We also got double buffering, and we got aspect correction. Let's check this out, so just make sure to OK this. Then if I go to run my game, run, we are straight into the game without having to press Alt and Enter. As you can see there, I'm not going to play much of the game, but scan lines are now applied in other video settings. We can also do this, like I say, on games like Doom. If you want to enhance how Doom looks, just right click on it, go to edit, and we want to go to display. And like I say, we can do this on anything we want. So scalar, let's just put this onto advanced main 2 times. Full screen resolution, 1080 by 1024. Window resolution, again, 1280 by 1024. Full screen, so boot this up in full screen, double buffering. And let's just go to OK. Let's boot up Doom. And again, to exit the game or go back into window mode, just press Alt and Enter. We can also go to run setup up here. We can then use the main menu to configure a controller type. So select controller type. From here, we can select keyboard and joystick, keyboard only. Configure controller, so we can select our controller to configure. So very simple stuff. And we can also choose what type of sound card. So by default, this is going to be likely on general MIDI. We can change this to Sound Blaster, Wave Blaster. It's up to you really what works best for you. And we can even choose the Sound FX card. Again, this is going to be defaulted to Sound Blaster, as you can see. And just make sure to save all your settings. That's it for today's DOSBox Game Launcher setup guide. So of course there's lots more features to this front-end system, but hopefully I've got you up and running with the very basics and get you DOS gaming at least. And like I said at the start of the video, in order to traditionally run DOS games, it would require lots of commands and using mounting images, that type of thing. So utterly a simplified way of playing DOS games, as you can see, and it's such a nice interface to use. Totally recommend this one. So anyways, if you liked today's video, hit notifications, subscribe and like so you don't miss upcoming retro emulation content. Also join me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. But until next time, stay retro.